Hello, welcome back to this long-delayed episode of Let's Build the 200 subscribers special. Um, I got to really start kicking my ass in gear because we're almost at what, about 17 subscribers away right now from hitting 300 subscribers. So I'd like to finish it before then. But today's episode, and I'll admit I've been putting it off because, at least partially because of. It's just going to be a lot of busy work today. All those... Oh, I never even placed the U.S. aircraft in. Did I? I mean, they're all out there. I did... Or, no, sorry. This isn't the U.S. side. What am I thinking? Oh, man, that would be... switch to U.S. Yeah, I loaded all those. So, let's see here. So, yeah, you can see there's a metric shit ton of aircraft we have to load. Guess there's no point in delaying it any further. Actually, just to improve performance, I can probably... What's your coverage range? Okay, you got wide mat. Okay, you got an EW suit there. You probably got some stuff there. Yeah, you got stuff there. So I think I can safely delete these objects too. Before I started recording, I entered in and just did a little more cleaning, cleaned the stuff up north of Taiwan. Probably just delete these two. And that's mainly just to improve the performance of the scenario, because obviously the less objects it has to deal with, the better it will run. And, I mean, my computer's no slouch, but I could definitely see it chugging running this scenario, especially because this CMO is particularly CPU intensive. But yeah, today we've got to fill in where all these aircraft have to go. And if we go, is it under game? Yeah. Order of battle. So if we go to this, you can see just how long it's taking to load because there's so many objects. And that's partially because the airbase is... excuse you? There we go. Yeah, you can see just whoosh. And this is just our order of battle. This doesn't include the USN side. But you can see because they... like the AG... Anching. I thought that said aging runway access point. I'm like, that's an oddly specific entry. But no, Anching. Or Anking, I guess, depending on how you say it. But, yeah, you can see massive amount of objects. And you can freaking expand it because it's hiding some object groups, so... man. Okay. So, actually, I do want to check. I feel like I gave the spiel already in a previous episode. Here we go. Yeah, okay, I reduced their proficiency in line with in line with what we've been seeing in the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and just with how bad Soviet tech and tactics has performed. And since Chinese tech and tactics is at least partially derived from that, and they have even less combat experience than Russia, I dropped them down a little bit, and I feel that's fair. Alright, so I suppose we gotta find the plate. I was honestly really hoping the order of battle screen would be a bit more useful to me. Yeah. I should put that in as a request to be able to group by type. Oh, what? So this is contacts. Oh, so this is including all the satellites that we see, which we can see, because I just kind of dumped them all in. I can probably delete some of those, and I'll probably prune those. For this, because obviously if there's one that just covers, like, I mean, I'm not familiar with their flight path, but obviously I gotta decode some of this too. But if it just covers, like, you know, anything not here, and it doesn't cover here, we don't need it. Yeah, like, you can see this one's orbit will bring it over the area. I would imagine most Chinese satellites would cover the area. Where does he go? Huh, do these not have flight paths or something? Bella does. And it's a little hard to see, but I don't think Capella... Oh. Okay, so it does have an orbit over our area. I don't know if it'll be relevant for our battle. What? Oh. What? Yeah, I shouldn't be able to plot a course or anything for them. But they don't have a predetermined orbit, which is really weird. I know some of them can be repositioned at will, but... as you can see, there's a lot of tasking over over the Middle East, and yeah, so like this one, I don't think it covers Asia Pacific at all. Yeah, this one doesn't seem to either. But we're not here for that today, so I'll do that later. But that should marginally improve performance. And actually, that one doesn't seem to cover anything based on the orbit path. Okay, I gotta stop. That can be... satellite trimming can be its own episode. As you can see, I'm still putting this off because there's what, 200 aircraft? And loading them into the bases isn't really the hard part. The hard part is coming up with distinct squadron names or call signs for all of these disparate aircraft. Because I'm going to need like a dozen or two. And mainly I'm just unsure of what I want it to be. You know, do I want to do animals? Do I want to do Chinese leaders or something? Might just do Chinese leaders. Let's see. Let's see, how many does this give me? Yeah, so Chinese, yeah, so I only have 11, like if I were to just do leader of the Chinese Communist Party or leader of China, I only have 11 for that. I think I'll have far more than 11 squadrons here. I want to have at least 20. So, but I don't want to use state or city names because that's typically reserved for something big like a warship, you know. Let's see here. Okay, we could do... there should be a fair more here. Chinese Soviet Republic. I am looking at stuff on a different screen. So if you're wondering why nothing's happening here, I'm using a second monitor to kind of grab these names. Oh, predecessor. Oh, that's something they don't really teach in the history books. What to do? I know. Ah, perfect. There we go. Perfect idea. So, we're going to do, panda names. Since pandas are, like, China's big export, or one of them anyways. We're gonna do panda names. So I suppose first the easiest thing to load is, let's see what we got here. I see they took that music, just direct capture audio from the intro to the game, I imagine. Which, if you want to have a fun time, see how many game soundtracks you can recognize in the background. But we see here, now this is for the carrier air wing, I believe. So we have 24 J-15 Flying Sharks. I guess I'll just use, let me see what the typical squadron size is in the PLAAF. If they have nothing specific, I'll probably just go with 12. Does that, and kind of just, or like some multiple 12. Or not multiple, some smaller number that multiplies into 12. Just because it's easier, and then it's just common with what I did for the U.S. Navy, which is more or less kind of how they work. Let's see. So they have divisions, which are about 120 aircraft. Get a more modern division. A8s. These are like, I can't still be using those. Second fighter division. Let's see. Oh, that's decommissioned. Third fighter division. Oh, that doesn't help me either. So, division is about 120 aircraft. And I think their divisions include several regiments. Or brigades, in this case. And a brigade holds 32 to 34 aircraft in battalions. Okay, so they have battalions of 8 aircraft. Okay, I can work with that. That's going to drastically increase the number of panda names I need. But I'm sure I can think of something if I run out. So, let us go into edit aircraft. Leave that. Yep, okay. So for our first squadron, we shall have Gia. Yeah. So Gia will have 8, and we want these to be Chinese. There's too many designations that fighter could fall under. Let's see. J-15. And this is... Okay, they have some twin-seaters, but, I guess we can do one squadron of twin-seaters and 2 squadrons of single-seaters. So we will add 8. Then we will name the second squadron Gia. And then the final squadron here should be I guess I'll just go down the list, and that's just gonna be Pon. And I believe that should be, yep, that's 24. So we can delete these units. Then we have 2 roaring sharks. So they will be known as Shaoqing. So we can eliminate these. 3, then it looks like we have a squadron of FC-31s, carrier variant. So, well, I got 8 selected. Okay, that's perfect. They shall be known as Gugu. I don't think I need this box to be so big. There, that should be more than sufficient. Then we have the Super Frelons, so we have the 18YJ, and those will be Yang. And then last but not least, we have the Z90s. F56. Ooh, which variant though? We can check that. Search and rescue variant. Okay. 456. So that is only 6. And they shall be known as, let's see, I just did Yang. So let's do Gao Gao. And now that is everybody on the aircraft carrier. So that's done at least. It looks like we got 4 more Z9Ds, which I believe are this top option, as well as a Sol Z18. Oh, for the, okay. So the Zhang He is going to have 2 Z20Fs, and we'll put all the associated carrier aircraft, or destroyer and frigate aircraft and whatnot on the same site, or on the same squadron or battalion or brigade or whatever the fuck it was. Let's see. Added aircraft. Actually, I'm just... so we have what, the Z. What did I say? These were Z20F. So their call sign will be Zinzin, and there will be 2 of them. Which, let me just make sure I'm not overburdening it. Parked and hang. Okay, good. So that's Zinzin 1 and 2. And I think each of the Liu Yang 3s get a single aircraft. Let's see what I got. Yeah, because our hangar can only fit 1 aircraft. And those are going to be Z9Ds. Z9D. So that's going to be Zinzin. And we are going to change that to Excuse me. Right, aircraft operations. So you'll be since in number 3. What did I say these were? Z9Ds. Z9D. Zin. Honestly, it might just be more efficient to do them all at once. Or do one operation at a time and then come back and do the other operation. Definitely not the most exciting video I've ever put out. I know that much. But the goal is to get this to culminate into something that'll be really cool. So I do hope it turns out that way. So now if I go to air operations, 3, so you should be number 4. And you should be number 5. You can be number 6. And then we have one last one that I almost forgot about, is the Z18 on here. A Z18. And it looks like this is just a standard Z8. We'll put them under the Zinzin Group 2 just for ease of use. And you can be Zinzin 7 then. 7. Alright, so that's our, who are you? Oh, submarine. Sorry, the submarine and air icons in NATO are the same, except the semicircle is flipped around. Yeah, so they got a lot of subs there that I'll have to organize eventually, but that'll be another time. So then, we have these little, swarm groups that have a single helicopter each. I suppose just for ease of doing things, I'm going to make them part of the Zinzin Squad 2. So these are the Z9Ds. So, we'll just put one on. So that would be Zinzin 8. Nope, air operations. And then we have the other hunter group here, the hunter swarm group. Come on, Z9D, Zinzin 1, and that will be Zinzin 9. That button there. Okay. Yeah, because they only have a flight deck, so honestly, they might not even get a helicopter in real life. But I'm a generous person. All right, so now we have. If we look at our air groups, and it's coming back to me now. It's been so long, but. If you recall, we made 2 separate air groups up here in the mainland. So one is a grouping of all the tactical aircraft. You can see here, the contrast isn't great. But you can see, you know, these are our fighters, fighter bombers, attack aircraft, you know, what have you, helicopters. And then we have a grouping of all of our strategic aircraft, which is the heavy bombers, some UAVs, some reconnaissance stuff, electronic warfare stuff, which... Okay, yeah, we got about 24 bombers, okay. So... we'll probably start... What's the range on these? I suppose that's kind of the... That's really going to be the big thing on where we put these. 2,000 nautical miles for the H6K. I would hope this thing could do at least 2,000 nautical miles. Yeah, 2,000 nautical mile radius. The Sword Dragon might be a little bit shorter. 18,000 or 1,800. 18,000 would be ridiculous. So probably just to keep them all. Let's see. So now 2, 4, 6, 8. So technically, with the air bases I have left, most of them should be in range. I probably will move the move some of the UAVs around, though. I think. Let's see. Cub. Oh, that's Elint. Really? I only gave him one UAV. I guess I didn't have many when I looked it up, but 18,000. So what we'll probably do here is we can put... Yeah, I think I know what. Let's put the recon and electronic warfare elements, the strategic elements, probably a bit closer. Let's see. And Ching would probably be an okay base for them. They're a little bit closer as the crow flies. Oh, it only moves one at it. Oh, come on. Move these out so I don't get them mixed up with the bomber regiment. Alright, this is simultaneously a very useful feature and a very annoying feature, having it when you have a bunch of units close together, having it pop up and asking which one you really want to select, which can be useful, but at times where there's I think there was just enough spacing, I could have just clicked on them, and honestly in this, especially in this case, because it doesn't really matter since I'm going to move them all anyways. Alright, so we have two... We'll put all of these as part of the same squadron. We'll just say they're, part of electronic warfare reconnaissance squadron or something. So we have Y9G Cub. Alright. Your call sign will be Shishi. And we have two of those. The KJ500 Cub, which will have two of those. A TU-154M Careless. Type 2 Elint is what I have. You will have one of those. And a WZ-7 Sword Dragon. Right? So we can get rid of these guys and just go through and rename them. So 1, 2. Let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. So that is a portion of our strategic aircraft. Now the rest are all bombers. They should have decently long range. Let me just double check here. Make sure they both have like a 2,000 nautical mile range. Oh. Well, I suppose they wouldn't need to go as far to launch their weapons anyways, but what we're seeing there then is they would be basically launching right around when they get to the coast. Versus these guys who are cruise missile carriers. And, yeah, these guys would be striking pretty much when they're in range. Okay. So let us... I suppose I should double check what the, where is it? Is it under unit orders? Yeah, group operations. Formation editor, F4. I just want to verify that the runway is actually long enough. 10,000 feet. That should be long enough. 3,200 meters. Takeoff. 2,600. Yeah, it's fine. I would think most modern airfields would be able to just support most modern aircraft. So what we're going to do here is we will add H6K, God of War. Let's make this Tauntaun Squadron. And there will be 8 of those. And then there will be Guanyan Squadron, of which there will be 8. And then there's the H6N. Which one is the question now? Basically, I guess the big differentiation is, does it have the hypothetical or not? Doesn't have the hypothetical. Okay. So, and then that will be... I'm gonna say that name looked familiar, but then again, a lot of these are just off by a letter, so this will be Bow Wow Squadron. And that is our bomber regiments. And you can even see where they're spread out on the in the group, the different airfields. So, you know, these are perhaps hangars and open parking spaces and stuff. I used to say, it says parked. Oh, here, air facilities, that's where. Yeah, so you can see most of them are in hangars or open parking, and there's still a lot. Or, not a lot necessarily, but quite a few bases. So that's the bomber regiment. Okay, or the bomber regiment, I guess. So, in theory, we only have one last grouping of aircraft. Yep, because they have no, at least for now, they have nothing pincering from the south. So let's see what we all have here, because it is a lot. Mostly fighters, fighter attack. So the J7s, J7s, and J10s. Well, the J10s are more modern, aren't they? Vigorous Dragon, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Those are more modern. Those are 4th gen, but like the J7s are all like 3rd gen aircraft. So for sure, those should be closer to the front. Let's look at the aircraft a bit here. J11, J10, or J10s, J16. There we go. If we look at their loadouts here, so we have. Oh, they do have a cruise missile loadout, so good for them, I guess. But you can see some of those ranges are as short as 100 miles in some cases. Jesus. So these will have to be pre-positioned very close to the front. Probably on the Paracel Islands themselves, or in... Yeah, they would... I would say the Paracel Islands and whatever this island is it just Haikou Island? But at like Ling Shui Air Base here, because even then, if one of their loadouts end up being only 100 miles, they aren't going to get very far. So they're yeah, so we're going to have to put as many here on the Paracel Islands. Which, let us see. Let's see. 8, 9, 10. Okay, so they've expanded this. There's a decent amount of hardware we can put there. So just to... Oh, come on. Come on. So if we go to edit hosted aircraft, we can see here 15, 15, 30. So what I'll probably do here is just round it up so we have some nice full squadrons. So JH7A Flounder. Which version? 2021. That version. You will be the Su Lin Squadron, and there will be 8 of you. And then there will be Bebe Squadron, and there will be 8 of you. Then we have the A2 Flounder, of which there's only 1. So we can do the Mao Squadron. Oh, we're actually, we are at capacity there. It looks like the JA2 is a little more generous in range. So what we'll probably do is we'll park those here at Ling Shui. JH7A2. So I said the Mao Squadron. And then Zhaoqi G Squadron. Alright. So that's another 16 aircraft off the platter. I think the helicopters are pretty obvious go for, like, I think, let's see, there's probably only 2 aircraft left at Woody Island. I suppose... Oh, really? I included you in the tactical aircraft? Yes. Well, let's take that out, because that's a super easy one, so, let's see, 4... 18... Okay, yeah, we got plenty of room here. So this is what, a Y8X or something like that? Is what it was? Yeah, Y8X. You'll be Mizung Squadron, and there will be 4 of you. And what kind of range are we, Yeah, probably about, 130 nautical mile range. And that's just point to point. If you want to leave some operating time, it's going to be less. And I actually don't know if the, PLAAF has a helicopter refueling capability like the US does. I would think they're... Do they have tankers? Do they even have tankers? I actually don't. I would assume so. But I have to look it up, because I am not 100% sure. Current inventory, combat AWACS, tank. Okay, they use... Oh, they don't have many. It's 3 Illusion IL-78s. Specifically 78 MPs. Wow. Huh, and they use 2 Boeing 737s for maritime patrol. That's interesting. They must have just bought them posing as civilians and then converted them. Yeah, so... we're going to add a tanker squadron. It may not have been in the original contingent, but we're going to add... if the database has it, we're going to add those tankers. Subtype. Tanker. Oh, looks like they're working on getting UAVs to serve it. Oh, they have some modified Badgers too, supposedly, but we'll just go with what the wiki says. Milan Squadron. There will be 3 of you. But even so, I don't think those could fly slow enough for to refuel helicopters. Not like our C-130s can. And that assumes the helicopters have their own air refueling equipment on board too, and that they can actually refuel in midair. And even in the US, that's mostly just special forces helicopters. Yeah, I don't know. We'll throw in the tankers though. Give them bone. Alright, so then helicopter squadron, we have 8 Z9Ds for search and rescue. That'll probably operate somewhere near Hong Kong. Actually, let's put those here. Your call sign will be Mei Sheng. We'll put 8 there. I think those are smaller, whereas the other helicopters were super felons, so they might be able to have a little more range. Yeah, so we have 8 super felons and 6 KA-28A helixes, which are for anti-submarine warfare. So we'll take the super felons first, I guess. And I'm gonna plop them here as well. Superfelon ASW. Your call sign will be Tau Tau. And there will be 8 of you here. We do want to check our facilities. Okay, so we still have plenty of space there, it looks like. You know, it's the balance between dispersing our forces so they can't get taken out if and when the U.S. retaliates, and concentrating them in ways that make sense. So these older Helix helicopters, I would imagine they have less range. Oh, they have some decent range. These will put in... Yeah, we will put you there. China, where's anti-submarine? There it is. Anti-submarine warfare. They are Helix. We'll assume they're a modern version. I think there were only 6 of those. Let me confirm. I delete. Yeah, there's only 6. So we'll just keep that. And you shall be Zealand. So there we go. Alright, so now all we have left is mostly 4th and 5th gen. Entirely 4th and 5th gen aircraft. Including some jammers. We have some more Roaring Wolves there, since it is the sole electronic warfare unit of the, well, the sole fighter-based electronic warfare unit. And this is going to depend on the range, so that's going to be about 400 miles. So we will, ideally, they would have at least 600-mile radius. Not that they would necessarily use that all, but ideally that's what you would be for air superiority. 150 minutes at 200 nautical miles, and they have 500 up to 600 nautical mile. Okay, so that's fair. We could probably handle that. See what the J10s have. 105 minutes at 200 nautical miles. 500. Yeah, okay. So we should be good for most of their modern aircraft. I would assume their F-31 clone can... Oh, yeah. Yeah, their F-31 clone is, or their F-35 clone is good, and their Mighty Dragon is, yeah. Alright, so... In fact, the J-20s could be pushed back even further. I would say the J-20s and the FC-31s can kind of be held back more, while the probably have the J10s up front. Let's see how much fuel. We go by fuel amount. They have 3,200 kilograms, whereas some of their flanker variants have 3 times the amount. Holy shit. So yeah, that and we have 60, so we'll just say 8 squadrons of J10s. 8 by 8 is 64. J16. Is it the J16 their carrier? No, just the MKK copy. Yeah. Huh. All right. J. No, isn't that? I get confused so easily. All right. Let's see. Let's just go here. Put it to rest. Aircraft. J-15 Flying Shark Su-33 copy. Oh, that's J-15. And then 16 is their mod. Okay, okay, okay. So let's... How much we got here? Okay, so what we can do is I think I'm going to knock the stealth fighters down to 1 and 2 companies or whatever, battalions. And those will fly 15, a bit further back. We'll say from Uping Ming Chu Abbas. So we will do the C-31. Will be call sign Shan. There will be 8 of you. And then Su Lin, of which there will also be 8. And then we have the J-20. Well, this is in the future, so I guess I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And this will be Ming Ming Squadron, and they will have 8. Alright, so that should take care of them. Alright, so yeah, we have 40 J-11s. So 5 squadrons of those, and 8 squadrons of J-10s. I guess we'll start with the J-10s. Probably just shove as much in Ling Shui as we can of the J-10s. Yeah, so we want that one. So your call sign will be Shun. Zing Zing. And Tan Tan. And we will split this up a little bit. We can have 2 squadrons come out of here. So we have Lun Lun, 8 of you. Zing Zing. So that brings us to 5. I'll put one more squadron. Yeah, I'll put one more squadron here, and then 1 squadron at each of these airfields, I think. We have Zen Zen. Tensi. So you'll be Ling Ling. 8 of you. And then we have J10C, and you will be Chi-Chi. And there will be 8 of you. Alright, so that's our biggest grouping of aircraft, I believe. Let's see. So we have 12 flying. Well, let's work on the J11s. So we got J11 BGs. So we need 5 groupings of those. Which we can probably put here. Or at least we can do 2 of them. So what is that? J11 BG? Yeah. So we have Chi-Chi. Yunzi. Kwame. And then split it up a bit. We can put some aircraft here. And I am actually out of names. Oh, that was pulling from deceased. Okay. Huh. The red panda doesn't quite have as many names. Probably because they aren't as rare, I don't think. Alright, I guess we'll just go with random names. It may not make the most sense to them. But it should be enough differentiation for us, so. Alright, so I need to add 2 squadrons here. So we can do Ming Tao. And Jihao. And that should cover us for our next largest group of aircraft here. That gives us 5 battalions, brigades, whatever, to get to that 40. So now all that's left is we have 12 J16s and 8 J16Ds. Which the J16, I think I'm just gonna demote those to a single single grouping here. So 8 and 8. And let's put those here. So, oh, you already have some aircraft. FC-31s. I could do that. Rather not have them grouped together. I don't think I've used this one yet. Oopsie. So if we edit the attached aircraft there, and we want J-16 Flying Shark. I assume this is the latest version, 2018. Yes, sirree. Your call sign will be Zipeng. There'll be 8 of you. And then to provide general tactical jamming support, we will have the Roaring Wolf. Mengyu. Let's do that. I think that's a fitting name. And with that, we've finally based all of our units. We can see here, it doesn't look like we have any aircraft left in the list, assuming it's showing everything we've selected. So now if we go to the order of battle, that should all... Is there a mission task by group? So I think they show up under their air bases now in the order of battle. Oh, nothing at that air base. Yeah, you can see here like the J-10Cs are showing up. So there's that, I guess. So that'll be it for this episode, because I think I've gone on long enough. But I think next time I'm probably going to start using / learning the mission designer, mission planner to kind of chart out what we want our USN carrier battle group doing, which, I mean, in a nutshell, it's basically they're doing a they're aiming to do a freedom of navigation patrol through the Taiwan Strait, but obviously that's going to get interrupted. But we can plan their missions based on that, and then if we can get that set up right, then we can plan their emergency scramble missions in case shit hits the fan, which it will. And then do the same for the Chinese side. And I think, and the Chinese side is obviously going to take longer because I got to coordinate fucking huge strike package. Even using the rule of thirds, this is a lot of aircraft to manage. So, yeah, I guess that's going to be the next roadmap. Hopefully it won't be like another 3 months before I get to the next episode, because again, I kind of want to get myself in gear. So with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.